In the last lecture on The Apple Cart by George Bernard Shaw, we are reading through Act 2 of the play when the American ambassador to England has paid a surprise visit to meet the king, and he has informed the king that America has decided to end its independence from the British Commonwealth and rejoin the British Dominion. The king is shocked. He did not expect this to come, although he confessed that as when I was younger, I actually dreamt of a reunited English-speaking empire at the head of the civilization. But then, this was when I was young, he says. Hearing that, Van Hatten is pleased and he says, "Fine, great, and now come true." In other words, your dream has come true. So Magnus answers, "Not yet. Now that I am older and wiser, I find the reality less attractive than the dream. That is, I would not at all be happy if America rejoined the British Empire." Now Van Hatten cannot believe this. "And is that all that I am to report to the president, sir?" He will be disappointed. "I am a little taken aback myself." Taken aback means surprised. That is, you are not thrilled by this development? That surprises me. So Magnus says, "Yes, for the present, that is all. This may be a great idea." Perhaps it's a great idea. Before he can finish, Van Hatten, surely, yes it is. "It may also be a trap in which England will perish." Perish means it will be destroyed. So Van Hatten encouragingly, "Oh, I shouldn't look at it that way. Besides, nothing, not even dear old England, can last forever." That is, in other words, things change with time. Progress, sir, progress. And whenever there is progress in any field, there will be changes. So Magnus says, "Yes, just so. Exactly. We may survive only as another star on your flag." Now, if you have seen the American flag, on the left top corner, there are a number of stars. And if you have studied it ever, let me inform you, each star represents a state in USA. कि हर एक राज्य के लिए एक स्टार है. So, we may survive only as another star on your flag. The situation may become reverse. For centuries, it was England that ruled over the world. Now, perhaps, America will rule over us. Still, we cling to the little scrap of individuality you have left us. Now, cling means hold on with difficulty. Hold on with difficulty. And scrap means small pace. He's referring to that star. If we must merge means become one, as you call it, or did you say just submerge? Submerge means to drown. Some of us will swim to the last. Swim to the last means some of us will fight for survival till our last breath. And then he says to the queen, "My dear," and the queen knows what he's asking her to do. The queen strikes her gong. This is to call somebody. And Pamphilus, one of the two secretaries of the king, he enters. "Magnus, you shall hear from me after the cabinet meets. Not tonight. You must not sit up waiting for a message. Early tomorrow, I hope. Thank you for bringing me the news before the papers got it." Papers means the newspapers. It would be a scoop for them. SCOOP, scoop. find the meaning of this word for yourself. That seldom happens now. Seldom. It is through the newspaper reports that the king is informed about whatever is taking place in his own country. Perhaps after a very long time today, he has this news or information about America rejoining with England before it reaches the newspapers. Why? Because Van Hatten, the ambassador to England from America, has informed him personally. Pamphilus, you will reconduct His Excellency. Good evening. And he shakes hands. Reconduct means take him back, show him the exit. Thank your majesty. To the queen, good evening, ma'am. I look forward to presenting myself in court dress soon, since he will be a subject, one of the subjects of England again. He will have to wear formal official dress code of England. And the queen, you will look very nice in it, Mr. Van Hatten. Good evening. The ambassador goes out with Pamphilus. Now the king is not just upset, he's angry, he's worried also. So striding grimly to and fro. Striding means to walk with long steps, and grimly means he is angry. The scoundrels, Bosfield, and blackguard means in a dishonorable way. Irish Free State. He was the man who had paid a visit recently to America and suggested it to the American president, and he did it deliberately. There was a purpose behind it. So that dishonest man, O'Rafferty, that booby bullroarer Bosfield, booby means stupid man, bullroarer means one who roars loudly, and Bosfield is the American president. Breakages Limited have taken it into exit, which was being criticized earlier. Their job is to mend or repair and establish. From independence, they have to be brought back. The queen quietly, I think it is a very good thing. You will make a very good emperor. Now, right now, England is only a small country. If the colonies rejoin the empire, it will turn into an empire. And as head of the empire, you will make a very good emperor. We shall civilize these Americans. Civilize means to tame them or to educate them. How can we when we have not yet civilized ourselves? Now Magnus is realistic. So we have not been civilized ourselves. How can we teach good behavior to others? They have come to regard us as a mere tribe of redskins. They means the Americans have come to treat us as only a tribe of redskins. Now redskins, please write the reference. They are the North American Indians. North American Indians, also known as Red Indians. They were the original inhabitants of America. Okay. England will just be a reservation. So original inhabitants of USA. So England will just be a reservation, a place reserved for holidays, etc. Nonsense, dear. The Queen disagrees. They know that we are their natural superiors. They means the Americans. You can see it by the way their women behave at court whenever they are present here. And which women is she talking about? Those who are at the American Embassy in London. Whenever they are invited for a formal party at the British court, they try to copy everything we do. They really love and reverence royalty. Reverence means greatly respect. They really love and greatly respect royalty. Hardly civil. Now, peeresses means a woman having the rank of a lord. So civil. When they that you believe is that is, first of all, the English women, many times they give a court invitation amiss. They do not attend whichever party they are invited to. And if and when they do come, they hardly behave in a civilized manner. So Magnus, well, my dear, I do many things to please you that I should never do to please myself. And I suppose I shall end as American Emperor just to keep you amused. Amused? Entertained. Just to keep you happy and entertained. I might be forced to do something which I don't want to do, that is, allow America to rejoin the British Commonwealth. So the Queen says, I never desire anything that is not good for you, Magnus. She is the perfect wife. I never desire means I never want to do anything that is not good for you. You do not always know what is good for you. She has to guide him. Well, have it your own way, dearest. He's not happy. He's put out by it. Put out by everything, actually. So he's extremely annoyed. And he says, where are these infernal ministers? Annoying ministers. The word is not there, it is they are late. They are late. So the Queen, looking out into the garden, coming across the lawn with Sempronius, just as the king says this, the cabinet arrives. The men take off their hats as they come up the steps. It is for the king as well as the presence of the Queen. Boanerges has taken advantage of the interval, that is the time since their last meeting with the king and this meeting, to procure means to get or to find a brilliant uniform and change into it, a very bright looking uniform. Proteus with Sempronius heads the procession, followed immediately by the two lady ministers. The Queen rises as Proteus turns to her. The procession means number of people moving forward in an orderly manner. जैसे बारात में लोग होते हैं बहुत सारे, that is a wedding procession. Same way. The Queen decides to leave. So just as she stands, Proteus turns to her. Sempronius moves the little table quickly back to the balustrade out of the way and puts the Queen's chair in the center for the king to sit on. The Queen shaking hands. How do you do, Mr. Proteus? May I present the President of the Board of Trade, Mr. Boanerges? This, remember, is the first meeting between the Queen and Mr. Boanerges, who is the Minister for the Trade of Commerce. The Queen says, I remember seeing you, Mr. Boanerges, at the opening of the Transport Workers' Summer Palace. You wore a most becoming costume then. Becoming means attractive. Set of clothes. Costume means set of clothes. I hope you have not given it up. She is a very courteous lady. So Boanerges says, but the princess told me I look ridiculous in it. Ridiculous? Funny or awkward? The Queen, that was very naughty of the princess. You look particularly well in it. Means she is being polite. Says, in fact, you look very attractive. However, you look well in anything. And now, I leave you all to your labors. She is polite and she leaves. She goes out along the terrace. Sempronius follows with her knitting. Magnus sitting down. Be seated, ladies and gentlemen. They take the chairs. When they are seated, they order from. To his left is Nicobar, Crassus, etc. A pause. Proteus waiting for the king to begin. He, that is the king, deep in thought, says nothing. The silence becomes oppressive, causing you to feel uncomfortable. So Pliny begins chattily, "Nice weather we are having these evenings." Now, this is an English practice that when you don't have any topic to talk about, people talk about the weather. So since they are sitting out on the terrace, it is open, which means there are no clouds, there is no threat of rain right now, although it is evening time. So when he says this, Amanda starts laughing. Magnus, there is rather a threatening cloud on the western horizon, Mr. Pliny. On the western horizon means from USA. To Proteus, have you heard the news from America? I have, sir. Am I to be favored with the advice of my ministers on that subject? That is, will you support me by giving me advice? So Proteus answers, by your majesty's leave, we will take the question of the ultimatum first. For Proteus, the ultimatum is more important. Doesn't matter whether America joins the British dominion or not. So Magnus says, do you think the ultimatum will matter much when the capital of the British Commonwealth is shifting to Washington? Washington is the capital of USA. So Nicobar answers, we will see it shifted to Melbourne or Montreal or Johannesburg first. He means to say that before the capital of the British Commonwealth shifts to Washington from London, we will see, that is, in other words, we will not allow it. Melbourne is a city in Australia, Montreal is a city in Canada, and Johannesburg is a city in South Africa. So, before that happens, the capital may shift to any of these places. But Magnus says it would not stay there. That is because Melbourne or what are the places he has mentioned? Melbourne or Montreal or Johannesburg will not be suitable as capitals of the British Empire. It would not stay there. It will stay at a real center of gravity only. And here, what does he mean? The center of the empire. And which is the center of the, which may be the center of the empire? That is Washington. Proteus, we are agreed about that. If it shifts at all, it will shift either west to Washington or east to Moscow. So Washington is USA and Moscow is USSR. Either direction. Bonajas, Moscow thinks a lot of itself. That is, the Russians have a very high opinion of themselves. But what has Moscow to teach us that we cannot teach ourselves? In other words, Moscow may think itself better than us, but it is not. Moscow is built on English history, written in London by Karl Marx. Now, Karl Marx was the father of communism. He wrote the book Das Kapital. Karl Marx's name को and you will get कुछ मिल जाएगा उनके बारे में. Das Kapital was, it is to say or talk us forget. This is like a leech. He's sticking on to that thought. What about the ultimatum, sir? You promised us your decision at 5 o'clock. It is now a quarter past. Means it is 5:15, 15 minutes past 5. What is your response? So Magnus answers, are you inexorably determined to force this issue to its logical end? You know how un-English it is to do that? Now, inexorably means impossible to prevent something. Impossible to prevent or stop something. Logical end means natural or sensible end. That is, English people are known for being illogical. Are you determined to bring it to its end? So Proteus says, my people came from Scotland. Originally, I am not an Englishman. I am a Scotsman. And Lysistrata, she's very angry with the Prime Minister, and she says, I wish they had stayed there. I'm English, every bone in my body. Boanerges, vociferously, means loudly. Same here. Proteus, God help England if she had no Scots to think for her. In his eyes, English people are foolish, and Scots are the brainy, intelligent people. That is, if there were no Scottish people, then England would be a doomed country. Magnus, what does the cabinet say to that? What do you have to say to that? Amanda, all their people came from Scotland or Ireland or Wales or Jerusalem or somewhere, sir. It is no use appealing to English sentiment here. That is, most of the cabinet members present were their forefathers were either from Scotland or Ireland or Wales or Jerusalem. Jerusalem is an a Jewish country or somewhere else, sir. It is no use appealing to English sentiment here. That is, the members of the cabinet belong to different cultures basically. Sentiment means feelings. Crassus, politics are not suited to the English if you ask me. Obviously, Crassus is also not an original Englishman. Magnus, then I, the only Englishman left in politics, apparently, seemingly, am to be reduced to complete nullity. Nullity means a thing that is legally not important. Legally not important or of no worth. This means that since I am the only Englishman left in politics, because every other member of the cabinet belongs to a different country originally, so will you reduce me to being totally unimportant? Proteus, bluntly, frankly, yes. You cannot frighten us out of our possession by painting it red. By painting it red means by claiming that we are in difficulty. I could paint your position black if I liked. Means I could malign you. I could make you infamous. मैं आपको बदनाम कर सकता हूँ. In plain terms, we require from you an unconditional surrender. Surrender to give in. Unconditional, without asking any questions, without claiming any conditions of your own. बिना शर्त के आप हार मान लीजिएगा. If you refuse, if you say no, then I go to the country on the question whether England is to be an absolute monarchy or a constitutional one. Now, absolute means total, and monarchy means rule of one, and constitutional one means democracy. So I will go to the country, meaning I will ask the public whether what do they want. Do they want a monarch, only one man's rule, or a constitutional head like it is at present? We are all agreed on that. There will be no resignations. Our cabinet will continue. I have letters from the absent members of the government. Those present will speak for themselves. All the others agreed. Proteus, now what is your answer? So Magnus says, the day for absolute monarchies is past. Past means over. It is no longer followed. You think you can do without me, and I know that I cannot do without you. I decide, of course, in favor of a constitutional monarchy. Uh, I cannot do without you. Why? Because I need you to advise me. I need you to help me run the country. I am dependent on you. So, yes, as far as I am concerned, I am in favor of a constitutional monarchy. The men are greatly relieved and delighted. Hear, hear. But Magnus, wait a moment. This is not the end. This is not the final decision. Alright, we'll take a break here and continue in the next session. Thank you.